Jar vlog number 4. Well, as you know, the film is all about intoxication of power, greed, and hunger for money, fame, and sex. Today, I'm going to be enumerating all the health hazards I've had to suffer all by myself in the past 15 years just to keep me down and depressed. So let's begin from 2005 when both my ankles were fractured, when the sloppily edited item number which I'd done for free was about to release and I was being splashed all over the media. Why so? In the fear that I will sign new movies and new item numbers, and the whole hearsay about it was done to refrain me from meeting a moron who wouldn't have done anything for me anyways. Haven't we seen that happen for 15 years? Freeloaders! And I had to suffer for their greed, their jealousy, and their envy. In 2006, a farting ghost was left in my aura to make me bloat, to degenerate my personality, so that I come across as lesser, so that I don't feel sexy about myself, in the fear of me escalating to unheard of heights. Well, I would tell you just one thing, as you all know that they nailed my stomach and fed me a whole load of shit to screw up my metabolism and, to make me unsexy. Stop using my stomach as a tool to display your insecurities. I was born flawless, and from here onwards, flawlessly I will live. Along with the ghost started the cesspool, where the father bangs the daughter, where the uncle bangs the daughter, where the whole gang bangs the girl living alone and then corners her and fingers her day in, day out so that she lives in fear and never gets to know about the sexual abuse she faces secretly in the thickness of the night. Well, around the same time, my menstrual cycle was also attacked by black magic because my menstrual blood was taken and tied up on a banyan tree so that my reproductive system can be controlled, considering I was being prostituted and all the power was being put in the hands of the person who put the ghost in me. Well, I can set myself free, and I will set myself and only myself free, not them by exposing them, and even go on to reproduce. Yes, have children and pass on the legacy of the sexiest girl alive. Around the same time, I got a call from JCB, a corporate company, to do a star dance performance as well as anchor their annual awards at JW Marriott up in Cairo. So I came to Pune to pack my belongings so that I could travel, but I was struck by chickenpox suddenly out of nowhere. Of course, it was black magic, and I was supposed to succumb to it, but I fought back. I trained my brain and I cured myself so that I could make it to Cairo on the day of the show. So you see, nobody is impossible or undefeatable. I defeated black magic so many times. I fought like a warrior, but that doesn't mean I didn't suffer and that the sufferings won't be compensated. So on my birthday, my dad gifted me a car, and like always, I was chauffeur driven. On my way from Pune to Bombay, the brakes of my car were failed intentionally. If that's not an illegal attempt to murder, I don't know what is. And I defeated death. Yet again, I defeated death innumerable times. And you can't sweep it under the carpet saying it was a mere coincidence. If you've read the Celestine Prophecy, a heavy duty book, it just boils down to one sentence: nothing in life is a coincidence. So, the kind of crimes I was surrounded by ever since my dad retired, it's pretty evident I was being outnumbered and bullied and attempted with murder time and again. When I participated in my first reality show ever, big switch. While doing the task, I tore my ligaments. Yes, I was literally lying on the bed with pillows under my feet, getting painkiller injections shoved up my butt. But you know what? I still won the task. That's been my sports girl mentality. But what I want to know is that as driven as I am, why does my health keep on getting attacked? It's all black magic. That has made me the illest girl alive. But I've fought it. I've fought it an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. 2009, the real spiral started. Yes, I kept on spiraling downwards. They kept on attacking me day in, day out to break me down mentally, internally, and morally. As to rush back to Pune, both my mother and my father used to collectively thrash me up in their spell. All my friends had abandoned me. They terminated all my media contracts, especially the media net contract with Times of India, Mr. Vinny Jain, unceremoniously. And I didn't even realize, but I suffered a nervous breakdown. But I kept going. I kept going. I didn't give up on myself. I didn't give up on my dreams just because a bunch of parasites didn't want me to realize my dream. Whilst this nervous breakdown, I kept on running to the police. I kept on lodging police complaints. They kept fingering and cornering me a million times daily. Then came a day when the police told me that, ma'am, you believe in us enough to come and lodge complaint after complaint repeatedly. But there's a lot of political pressure on us. Our superiors have told us not to take any action. Why don't you approach the court of law? That was the day when I drafted my first court case and I was going to the magistrate court in Mumbai to lodge it. When I was underneath the neighboring building, a window pane was thrown at me from the terrace in an attempt to murder me. But as I walked fast, they missed me by a couple of seconds. Around this time started the phase which continued from 2009 up until 2019. Drugging and raping, tricking and raping, conning and raping. All they seemed to be after was free sex and how can we usurp all of Pooja Mishra's money and properties. I still remember they used to con me into coming from Pune to Mumbai, stay in my Windsor Tower apartment, drug me, and try to mutilate my genitals. I didn't even know I was sexually active. On one side, that put me under a spell of wanting to stay celibate and not have consensual sex. And on the other side, then made a sex toy out of me. If mutilated genitals are not a health hazard worth compensating, what is? Due to all the pressure, I started spending more time in Pune with my family. I decided to learn how to drive. I gave it a good 2 months to master driving. My dad gifted me a car to take back with me to Mumbai to make commuting easier. One day, when I was driving around Windsor, I was surrounded by 4 5 goons on bikes and framed into an accident. I was taken to the Oshiwara police station, falsely accused, The lady inspectors pulled my hair and thrashed me and put me behind the bars for a day for no rhyme or reason. Pray, why may I ask? Because they couldn't see me driving around, living my life with my head held up high. Thrashing me, impounding my car too. Health hazard, indeed. Then I got a call for the reality show called Big Boss. Initially, I refused to be a part of it, then I decided to go ahead. And like always, just before the shoot was about to begin, I was down with a viral fever, as you saw in the show. When I entered the house, I was sick. And whilst the show, just before they wanted to throw me out, they raped me in front of 77 cameras. Can you imagine? What a gala time the production might have had in the edit, rewinding and watching me get raped. It was just to humiliate me in front of the whole crew of Endomall and Colors. Compensation? Bring it on. After Big Boss, I was invited to visit the sets of a Bollywood film. I still remember I met three actors there: Vivek, Aftab, and Ritesh. I had a great time catching up with them, considering I'd interviewed most of them during my Z Music anchoring days. Once the shoot was wrapped up and I returned to Pune, the fluid sac of my spine was burst open. Yes, I had an uncalled for slip disc attack. I was literally vegetated on the bed for a month by black magic. Why? Because I visited the sets of a Bollywood film. Such was the resistance I had to face, which blocked me from entering Bollywood, which has given me many offers and many invitations so far. Thankfully, around this time, I met a healer who told me all about what I was being subjected to. I decided to turn to the court of law. I lodged my first case against hacking of my phone. That's how they stole 35 movies and my emails. The second one against black magic. And the third one against gang rape. I still remember I was leaving Pune at 3 in the morning to reach the High Court in time to file my case. And my scaphoid bone, the bone in your body which has the least amount of blood circulation, was mercilessly broken in an attempt to stop me from filing the case. Did I stop? No. Without a cast on my hand, I went to the High Court and lodged the gang rape case. In an attempt to defy the pressure I faced, just because I wanted to stand up for myself, I decided to go on an 11 city tour with a broken scaphoid bone. By the time I reached Udaipur, I was drugged, raped, and impregnated. By the time I reached Kathmandu, in broad daylight, a charging bike aborted me on the streets and injured me mercilessly, besides robbing my credit cards and my passport. By the time I reached Kolkata, heavy duty acne had struck my face, and my mobile phones, documents, and valuables had been stolen from my hotel room. But did my tour stop? No. I completed my 11 city tour with a bro. Then I decided to go into production for my first show, which was a cookery show, and a million hassles I faced. From the venue cancelling on me on the day of the shoot after confirming on paper, to the Marathi technicians and VFX artists who knew very well how to talk in English and Hindi but refused to and just kept on bitching about me in Marathi while fleecing me and delaying me. And what was the outcome? Color shamelessly copied my cookery show and put it on prime time. With so much of stress, I had to go for a million lung tests because I was smoking around 30 to 60 cigarettes per day. I was bedridden for a week with chest pain. Health hazard? Oh, yeah, you got that right. On one of my visits to Mumbai, I was staying at the Orchid Hotel near the domestic airport as to work out regularly at the gym and post pictures from there. Being a fitness enthusiast, I see nothing wrong in doing that. But apparently, that irked a lot of people and they were seething in jealousy. On the night, an asshole was hosting a birthday party for a freeloader at his farmhouse. My nose was attacked for the first time. I was bleeding. I ran to the Leelavati hospital in Bandra and got my x ray done only to find out that I had a hairline fracture on my nose. How many more times will my health be attacked just to stop me from being myself? Enough is enough. Now I'll be who I am, irrespective of the pressure. When I was filming Abhi To Party Shuru Hui Hai in Delhi, I was drugged and raped and forcibly given vaginitis and a cyst in my uterus. Considering I was there for 9 months, that's not all. I was again drugged and given some contagious molluscum to mutilate my genitals. On one occasion, I posted a picture of myself outside a nightclub on Halloween's, and right about then, a car came and ran me over, and I was given roadside injuries. Because of the constant harassment, rape, theft, defamatory viral videos, I was admitted in the hospital for breathlessness and was put on ventilator. Health hazards? Multiple health hazards. While I was shooting Abhi To Party Shuru Hui Hai in Jaipur, I was drugged and raped again. By now it had become a pattern. And just because I reported it to the police, all the five-star heritage properties of Jaipur were instructed not to let me stay with them. That's right. I literally had nowhere to stay, nowhere to shoot my show. Such was the backlash I received for standing up for myself against the cesspool and the constant gang rape. On another occasion, when I was shooting for Abhi To Party Shuru Hui Hai in Bangkok, I was harassed to the core. Starting from the air tickets. Only God knows why was I forced to buy 2 air tickets. Every other day, I was made to change my hotels. Then some goons on a bike snatched my bag. My debit card was stolen. So I was left stranded in the Republic of Thailand with no access to my bank accounts and absolutely no cash. So much so that I even went to the police and lodged a police complaint. They basically did not want me to complete my shoot. But complete my shoot I did. And in the process, the health hazard, the stress, the drainage, the acne, the first acne, well, the black magic did not stop, but neither did I. And I did defeat it because I did complete my episode and fly back to India. Then I decided to go into production for my movie, my biopic, Jad. I decided to travel to Lucknow. From the time I stepped into the flight, from publishing defamatory articles saying I don't travel in donkey class, to making me unconscious in Gemini Hotel and hitting me black and blue, to leaving me stranded in the Film Bandhu office to do all the clerical work, to apply for the subsidy? What did I not face for this film? They even usurp my properties in the fear that I'll sell them to make this biopic because it meant that much to me. Blocked every road for me to make my film and tried to race ahead with their projects. Wow, that's a health hazard in itself. Defamation and assault and drainage. They would not let any technician come on board for my film because it was going to expose them. So I decided to learn every little intricacy of filmmaking myself. While attending a workshop in Pune, I was assaulted on the road in broad daylight. My clothes were stripped and I was attacked by a crazy woman. The news was even carried in Pune Mirror. When I went to attend a weekend acting workshop in Mumbai, I was raped in an unconscious state in an Ola cab. On return to Pune, when I went to lodge an FIR for rape in the local police station, do you know what did the cops do to me? Two lady inspectors sat me down in a chair, stood on my foot on either side, held my hand, and the SHO beat me with a lathi while my vagina was still bleeding from the rape. Why? Because I asked for a copy of my medical report, which I'd given in the local government based hospital under police surveillance. Such has been the strong resistance against my movie Jad. So much so that the cops have beaten me up in my local police station to refrain me from making it. It didn't take me long to realize that they were not letting me make the film. So I decided to film the first song, Hotter Than You. Diligently, I trained and I trained and I trained at the gym. I learned calisthenics, went for yoga every day, and got a body hotter and fitter than a Latina, seeing which they burnt alive. They hoodwinked me into coming to Bombay for a farce of a finances meeting, made a running rickshaw, ram my left foot, so much so that I had to limp my way to the gym to maintain that body of mine. Why? Because they didn't want me to complete the shoot of Hotter Than You. They didn't want to accept that indeed I was hotter than them, collectively outnumbering and bullying me, yet me not giving up. So they forcefully paused the shoot of Hotter Than You. But did I give up on my goal, my film? I decided to tell my story through my biography. What's in a name? Everything. You were not born to be mediocre. They hacked my Wi Fi, they put hidden cameras in my house, they stalked me. Yet I continued to visit different cyber cafes to complete my book. One afternoon in a cyber cafe in Koregaon Park, in broad daylight, I was assaulted by a foreigner. The skin below my right eye was burst open and was bleeding. Yet I continued to write the book until the cyber cafe shut. When I got back home, my mother rushed me to the emergency ward at Columbia, Asia. I had to go in for surgery. I got stitches under my eye, but I completed my book. It was my goal to expose them As soon as I finished my biography, I started work on my reality show, Spare Me the Crab Mentality. I wanted to start casting for my film. As soon as I released a digital ad film explaining the concept of the show, I got a call from Delhi to receive an award. I was to catch the flight to Delhi from Mumbai. I left from Pune to Mumbai in an Ola cab. 1 hour from my house onto the highway, The Ola cab driver intentionally bangs the car into a truck in the hope to get me hospitalized and put me in coma so that my show never sees the light of day. But I survived that accident, although thoroughly injured, and did go and receive the award. Health hazard? Oh, this was again a death attempt.